Hello. Guys. Sorry, I just went on vacation. I just got back. Probably like 2 hours ago. So my immune system is actually in literal shambles. Because every time I travel, my entire body sort of just gives up. So I love that. I love being chronically ill. But can we talk about the setup? Guys, I'm like actually sitting at a desk and not rotting in my bed. Like, can we get a round of applause? Don't worry, there will be plenty of bed rotting later tonight because I have discovered this new thing where I can't sleep at night. Well, I can. It's just, I can't fall asleep if it's before midnight. So I don't know what that's about. I'm sure it'll like fix itself in a couple of weeks. Today we are going back on the evil website known as Reddit because you guys seem to like when I did... Hello? I just lost my train of thought. You guys seem to like when I did the Am I the Asshole reviews. So I actually can't take any more of those, but I thought of something even worse. Reddit confessions. Oh, also, we've upgraded from my Kindle Fire to my MacBook. Okay, I have to figure out how to fit both me and my MacBook in this frame while also not showing this side of my hair because it's sticking up in the back quite a bit. So we just divert our days. Oh my goodness, every single time I open my MacBook, it tries to give me a million reminders all at the same time. And I don't want to do any of them, so we're not going to. Oh, also, I got a tattoo! Guys, freshly 18, I'm already making permanent changes to my body. I'm kidding, it's henna. It's just henna. I could never get a tattoo. Like, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, wait, like that would be kind of cool, but girl, I can't even like gather up the courage to get my ears pierced. Like, I don't know how I could possibly handle getting a tattoo. Okay, let's search up Reddit confessions and see what we find. I'm so scared. Yay! The way it's like these videos are literally my idea and I choose the worst possible thing every time. I don't know why I did this to myself. I lied to my barber for years and we never talked ever again. Okay, so why your barber? I'm French and have been living in a big city in France for a few years, going to my barber almost every month. I always hated small talk. Real. Since childhood, I was always introverted and just came in... What? Sorry, I don't know how to read. I guess I should have learned to read before I filmed this video, sorry. Since childhood, I was always introverted and just come into the shop and want my haircut done. Valid. The first time I came to that barber, I didn't think I would come back again, so I pretended to not speak French and only be able to speak English to avoid all of the small talk. A few years later, he thinks I'm an American lost in France. Lost is a word choice for sure. He doesn't speak a single word of English. The only few times we interacted, I used Google Translate on my phone. It felt nice not having to talk, but I was always scared he would discover it somehow. I'm now moving countries and he will probably never know about this. Sorry, Mr. Barber, but thanks a lot for the nice haircuts. Sorry, Mr. Barber is frying me. Well, yes. I'm not technically, like, I'm not gonna rank these or anything, but there's nothing to say. Like, I mean, they're just confessing. Like, it's not like, what do I say? But I will say, I think that's valid. Like, I also don't want to talk to people. Have I pretended to not speak English before to get out of a conversation? No. I have pretended that I can't speak. I have pretended to be mute before. Oh, wow. I can't believe I'm, like, confessing this on the internet. That's... Wow. This just turned into my confessions video. What the freak? I don't know why I started. This is not about me. This is about these random people on Reddit. I don't know why sorry. This is... let's just forget about that. Got caught stealing from Target today and didn't stay. Wait, I have a story. This is literally turning into like my confessions video. What is happening? No, but it's kind of like a funny story, but also in the moment I was like, oh my god, I'm a horrible person. I went to Wawa, right? And you know, they order on the screens, and I always order on the screens at Wawa, but sometimes I'll get like a little snickety snack from like the shelves that they have or whatever, like the shelves of, everyone knows what Wawa is. I'm just gonna stop talking about it. I put a tasty cakes, like the ones that like come just a little packet of tasty cakes, I put it in my pocket. I had full intentions of then taking it out of my pocket and scanning it to pay for it. However, I forgot about it because then I had to go get my food, like my actual food that I had, you know, done the little screen thing for. So I paid for my food and then I left. And I had a tasty case in my pocket and I didn't pay for them and I stole from Wawa. I shoplifted from Wawa. But then I felt really bad and I like cried and then I went back and paid for it. Which was really embarrassing. And honestly, I got away with it, so maybe I should have just taken it. But I felt really bad. So technically I didn't steal. I just like borrowed. I'm the reason my uncle ruined my dad's wedding reception and nobody knows it was my fault. Oh no. Oh, this is really, really long. To be honest though, I like the long ones because they're a little bit juicy. When I was 11, my dad met my stepmom and I absolutely hated her. Oh. My parents split up when I was 3, so I don't remember them ever being together. It wasn't that I wanted them to get back together. I actually loved having 2 birthdays, 2 Christmases, etc. I just didn't want to share my dad with anyone. Okay. I wanted it to stay me, my brother, and my dad, so when she came into our lives, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. When I was 13, they moved in together, and a year later they got engaged. They got married when I was 15, and I was one of the bridesmaids because they both wanted me to be involved. Something important to mention is that before the wedding, my uncle really liked my stepmom. What do you mean before? Does something, oh, I'm so scared. As far as I knew, he fully supported their relationship and wanted them to get married. He never said anything negative about her or the wedding. After the ceremony, my uncle and I were sitting together in one of the rooms while he was having a few drinks. We started talking about the wedding and I admitted that I didn't want them to get married. He actually tried to reassure me at first. He told me everything would be okay and that my dad getting married didn't mean he'd love my brother and me any less. He even tried to come up with family things that we could do together with her, but I just kept going. I told him every fear I had. I said I was worried my dad would become distant, that he'd put his new wife before us, that our relationship would never be the same, and that I wished the wedding wasn't happening. That I thought it would mean I wouldn't get a chance to be with him, my dad's other siblings, or my cousins anymore because my dad would be too busy with her family. I even brought up examples of how my dad has been spending more time with her family, and that I hadn't visited him or much of my dad's family in a while. The more I talked, the more his attitude seemed to change. He started agreeing with me and saying that my dad would become distant and that he didn't want to lose his brother. Looking back, I genuinely talked him into seeing the wedding differently. Oh no! As the night went on, he got really, really drunk. I'm so scared. He ended up causing a huge scene. He shouted at people, told my dad he didn't support his choices, and then disappeared to his hotel room. He completely messed his best man speech, so my other uncle had to make one up on the spot. Instead of everyone celebrating my dad and stepmom, everyone was talking about him. Before that conversation, as far as I knew, he was happy for them and wanted them to get married. By the time we finished talking, I'd unloaded every insecurity and worst case scenario I'd been imagining onto him. I encouraged him to speak to my dad and other relatives about how he felt. I even asked him to make a speech and express his opinion, which he said he wouldn't do, but once he'd been drinking more, he actually did. Oh my god. Later that night, my dad pulled me aside and had a really honest conversation with me. He explained what life would look like now, how much my stepmom meant to him. He also reassured me that my brother and I would always come first and that nothing would ever change that. After the conversation, I put on a smile for the rest of the night. I even hugged my stepmom and told her I was happy that they got married, even though I didn't mean it at the time. The thing that makes this confession even worse is that I absolutely love my stepmom now. She's genuinely one of my favorite people in the world, and she supported me through some of the hardest times in my life. I honestly couldn't imagine life without her now. Oh, my uncle doesn't even remember that conversation. Well, I guess he was too drunk to. But I still think about it all the time. Every time I think back to that wedding, I can't stop wondering if I ruined part of my dad's wedding day just because I couldn't keep my fears to myself. This situation is still talked about to this day when my dad and stepmom's wedding is mentioned too. I've never told anyone this, and I don't think I ever will, but I had to get it off my chest. Wow. Oh my god. Wait, yeah. Oh, would I feel Okay, but also, honestly, that's not that bad because they were 15 years old and they were just a kid, you know, and they were just venting their feelings to their uncle. And I mean, they did say, wait, they did ask their uncle to speak to their dad and to make a speech and express his opinion. But it was the uncle's decision to go and get drunk and ruin the wedding. That, it had nothing to do with you. Because, like, you were just venting to him. And then, sure, you, like, asked him to be like, hey, can you maybe talk to my dad about this? But you weren't like, hey, I have an idea. You should get really drunk and ruin the wedding, and you should miss your best man speech, and you should just hide away in your hotel room. And, like, you didn't ask him to do all that. Like, he did that on his own. And honestly, if his attitude can be changed that quickly by a child, I think he has some feelings of his own that he needs to tap into and maybe work out with himself. Because, like, maybe he secretly was also, like, afraid of losing his brother to, like, his wife. Maybe he, like, didn't want to tell anyone about it, or maybe he didn't even know. And then he's talking to this kid and everything just sort of, like, comes out, and then he's drinking and that also brings it out. And it's like, I think maybe he had some of his own suspicions about the wedding at first, but you know, that's not the kid's fault. And it could have been worse. Like, he could have ruined the wedding so badly that it never happened and they never got married, and like this, like, OP never got to experience the amazing relationship with their stepmom that they have now. But that didn't happen. Like, they still got married and like they still love each other and everything's fine. My ex cheated on me for a whole year and I made him pay for a fake abortion and I sent him to therapy. You did the world a service. That's not a confession. That is a heroic move. So I don't know how long this video is actually going to be by the time I edit everything down, but I don't want it to be too long. They weren't very juicy, actually. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you enjoyed them anyway, because I don't know, I thought they were pretty funny. So yeah. Bye.